I lost over 80 kilos, or 176 pounds. Ask me anything. I am 35 years old, male. I lost weight over 2 years by removing bad habits and starting a healthy life. I gradually removed all the bad food and inactivity from my life and started eating a balanced diet with regular exercise. Exercising is now a part of my daily routine and the best way to feel energized and normal. A weekend on the couch is a weekend wasted. I can duck, dive, jump, run, push, and climb. I've discovered I'm not big boned, I'm framed for activity. I've seen a lot of questions on here that I remember having before my weight loss. So amazing. I'm so proud of you. What do you eat? Thank you! I'm eating a diet that balances out protein, dairy, and low GI carbs evenly during the day to stay full. Breakfast will be something like a dairy product with fruit and oats. Lunch will be a protein, vegetables, and a cup of brown rice. Dinner the same as lunch, sometimes with low GI carbs. You're welcome and excellent. This sounds great. Thank you for sharing. How often do you eat junk food now that you're healthy? And does it feel awful when you do? I will have a cookie, small piece of cake or chocolate once or twice a month. Walking away from junk food cold turkey forever is a fool's game. But there is junk food I simply refuse to eat. Decadent desserts like cheesecake. Fast foods, accepting occasional protein like chicken nuggets, no chips, no Coke, or other soft drinks. I also make sure I only have my little indulgences on gym days because my body has worked harder than other days and can cop it. But I don't feel guilty if I have something on a rest day. First up, amazing achievement, well done. What work have you done on the habits wire triggers that caused you to gain weight initially? As someone who also lost a shit ton of weight, I never actually addressed the causes of weight gain, and slowly but surely when life got hard, the habits that made me big came back, and with it the weight. Great question. I didn't need to manage triggers because my weight was a lifelong issue due to having poor education on healthy eating. Recently, I did go through work-related stress that caused me to drink more than usual and put some weight on. My knowledge, experience, and motivation all helped me to identify the issue and act, managing it one small step at a time. This is all made easier because balanced food nutrition was foundational to my weight loss journey. I manage every bump on the road because I know how much carbs I should be eating at different meals and what protein to eat. It sounds to me like you have the motivation and the drive, but you probably don't understand what nutrition you need during the day. I'd suggest meeting a doctor or a nutritionist to go over your needs in detail. Interesting, we usually fall into one of two categories. Lack of knowledge about nutrition overeating used as a coping mechanism. First, will show substantial improvement, but it's a coin toss. If it resolves, second, unintentionally. It's why so many diet attempts fail. Glad it seems you only had a category 1 problem to solve because a category 2 problem sucked. I'm being more nutrition focused and are specifically targeting habits that make me eat more food, and it's doing wonders at simplifying my life and making weight loss effortless. I think your two categories are two of the most popular reasons that don't involve medical issues, yes. I'd flip your second point on its head, though, and suggest that overeating as coping mechanism should be managed as a priority by dealing with the emotional, psychological foundation for the overeating. Knowing about good nutrition is great, but it's unlikely to do much if you have underlying emotional issues. What are some of your favorite things that you've been able to do at your current weight that you couldn't do when you were heavier, either due to physical inability or because of a weight size limit? I love this question. I can do so much. I had a sudden urge to climb everything once I got to about 5 kilos, 11 pounds from Total Fitness. I now love Boulder, which at rock climbing gyms. It's a fun social way to test yourself climbing, and I've been able to see how flexible and strong I can get. I've also always loved to go kart, but now I have more strength muscle to kart around a track. The weight reduction has also helped my top speed. Have you always been overweight? How do you get past the dread before a workout? I want to actually enjoy being active, but working out is still miserable for me. Do you have any cheap, basic meals that helped you lose the weight? Yes, I had lost weight here and there over time, but always been large. Try not to beat yourself because you don't want to exercise. I didn't jump straight into a workout routine when I started my journey. In fact, I'd lost close to 60 kilos before I walked into a gym. Think about one little thing you know is bad for you. Focus on changing or removing that now. Move on to the next bad thing once you've ticked that off, and keep doing it until you find yourself walking into a gym as well. Also, any meal can be cheap and easy if you're buying natural produce, and plan ahead. It feels like hard work cooking a healthy meal when you start, but you get used it over time. Cooking chicken breast with steamed vegetables takes me no longer than 20 to 25 minutes. I eat one breast for dinner and cut up the other for lunch the next day. That means I have made a nutritious dinner and lunch in less than half an hour. I feel like a big excuse is that people think eating healthy is expensive. Eating processed junk is way more expensive. I spent $40 yesterday on a bunch of fresh veggies for salads and pork loin. I've got meals prepped for a week now. When I was eating shit, I would spend $500 once a month on groceries and got nothing but processed foods. I've discovered eating healthy can be cheap, easy, and fun. What was the first step you took? What would you say was the most important factor for you? I picked up a lot of bad eating habits from a previous relationship. It was good because all I had to do was stop eating one thing I knew was bad for me. The benefits when you're that big are instant and noticeable, so it motivated me stop eating the next bad thing. That creates a rolling stone of motivation, and you don't even realize it until you're in motion. That's wonderful. What was your starting weight? How did you stay motivated, disciplined on your journey? My starting weight was about 160 kilos, 352 pounds. But it's an approximate weight because my digital scales didn't go any further than that. The small wins kept me motivated. Scales are a good weekly win, so are body measurements. Buying clothes you couldn't fit in before. I never focused on the end goal. Every week, I kept my eye on the right food and whatever exercise I might be doing, and counting down the days to weigh in. I'd also add that measurements are one of the better ways to measure weight loss, especially with clothing. Feeling your clothes get looser is way more effective as a motivator than numbers. Tell me about your diet and how much cardio you did. I'm only recently getting into heavy running cardio. I have always aimed to achieve 10,000 walking steps a day. Cardio is important, but muscle growth is far more effective for losing weight. More muscle requires extra protein, increases your metabolism, and burns fat faster. I'm eating a diet that balances out protein, dairy, and low GI carbs evenly during the day to stay full. Breakfast will be something like a dairy product with fruit and oats. Lunch will be a protein, vegetables, and a cup of brown rice. Dinner the same as lunch, sometimes with low GI carbs. I will also add that the older we get, the more muscle mass we need if we want to reduce our chances of diabetes. It also means more physical autonomy. 100% agree. We don't need to be muscle masters to benefit, just working on muscles. Has your mental health also gotten better alongside the weight loss? Great question. Mental health is the forgotten child when it comes to weight loss, but it's so important, especially for keeping the weight off. I stand straighter and my shoulders are pushed back. I smile more and I'm more likely to meet someone's eye. I'm so confident that I back myself, taking risks in life generally, and I know what to do next if I fail. I'm my biggest supporter and critic. It drives me forward, and there's not a person on this planet who can dent that. My self-assurance has become the most rewarding and perpetually effective aspect of keeping my weight off. Improved mental health is great motivation for your journey. Aim for more confidence. Congratulations! Do you find that you have a lot of loose skin, or has exercising helped reduce it? Thank you! This comes up a lot, and I understand why. We're all worried about putting in the work to look better, only to have unattractive loose skin. I have some loose skin around my belly that looks kind of like a wrinkled dad bob. No loose skin anywhere else. There was slight hang in my upper arms, but that has gone now. My body is toned from workouts. This is a hard one to answer because loose skin is different for everyone. It depends on how overweight you are and your age when you lose the weight. Unfortunately, people who are morbidly obese will have to contend with lots of excess skin when they lose the weight. I've known a couple of people who deal with the insecurity of excess skin, but they don't regret losing the weight. I sometimes feel insecure about my belly, but the value and joy of my life now easily dwarf how I feel about the skin.